Hi guys, this is Rob from Access. I'm joined today by Tina from Infinity Ward. Nice to meet you, Tina. We're talking Call of Duty Ghosts. So, on PS4, I mean, Call of Duty is synonymous with a really spectacular single-player campaigns. What has PS4 allowed you to do to kind of up that spectacle?
Oh man, well the PS4 has a much more like graphical capabilities than PS3, so it really allowed us to explore a lot of experimentation on that front. So it changed the way we do art. For example, in our office, we have a new pipeline where you can make cinematic assets that are like movie quality, and then we pair it to each platform so it fits on each system. So the PS4 version is going to look gorgeous.
And, you know, you quite often have really explosive set pieces as well. In each game you make, they kind of get louder and bigger. And how do you guys think up that kind of stuff? You know, PS4 arrives, wow, we've got to think of something that's even more incredible than what we've already made. You know, how do you go about, you know, collating ideas and getting those ideas, those incredible set pieces together?
It's the fun part of working on Call of Duty, right? I mean, it's sort of like when you think of like a James Bond film, like how are we going to top that last, iteration? But with Ghosts, we have a new setting. So in previous Call of Duty games, you're always a superpower with the best weaponry and technology and like manpower you could ever need. In Ghosts, that's not the case anymore. We went in a completely different direction, and it really allowed us to be more experimental in terms of telling a story. So in Ghosts, you play as Logan and his brother Hesh. So we have the new family dynamic. But you get to meet up with the Ghosts in this new setting that we created where the U.S. is sort of in decay and barely holding on for survival against a new superpower called the Federation. And the Ghosts in this setting are essentially what's left of like the elite forces in the U.S. trying to protect what's left. So there's a very few of them. So it's important for them to protect their identity, so that's why they wear the masks and the face paint. But they're really cool because they can go across enemy lines and get the job done and do things that no one else can. So you and Hesh get to meet up with the Ghosts and play alongside them, but it really allowed us to explore different opportunities. So, for example, like we showed Into the Deep at E3, you're taking out an enemy base. In previous Call of Duty games, maybe you just send an airstrike to do it, or a lot of manpower, but you can't because there's only maybe like 5 or 6 of you. So in Into the Deep, you go underwater, trying to remain stealth to approach the enemy base, and you're fighting people along the way just to try to like protect that, the fact that you don't want enemies knowing that you're there. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
And what can you tell us about the story as well? You've left the Modern Warfare series behind now. This is a new chapter in Call of Duty. What can you reveal to us about the Ghost story?
The Ghost story is going to be a lot of fun because we worked really closely with Stephen Gaghan, who's an Oscar-winning writer, who really helped us flesh out the personalities and characters and the environment that the story takes place in. So we're really going for that emotional impact and also giving fans an origin story behind these characters. Because in previous Call of Duty games, especially Modern Warfare, you never really understood where Soap and Price came from. But you will definitely get to know these characters in a much more in more detail than ever before.
Obviously, multiplayer is a huge part of any Call of Duty game as well. So what has PS4 allowed you to do in terms of multiplayer that you just couldn't do on PS3?
Oh man, the huge difference is going to be the graphical one. Anything you think of in terms of eye candy, so the lighting, just the art itself is going to look amazing. But it was important to us at the studio because of this new console generation that the gameplay experience was going to be the same across all platforms because we didn't want to alienate our fans for having maybe an older version of Ghosts rather than the next gen version. So in that sense, it's important to us as well, though, that the new next-gen version of Call of Duty Ghosts is going to look gorgeous, and I think people are going to be really happy with it.
Well, you've got new stuff in there this year. You've got squads, creator soldier. Everything seems geared towards letting the player kind of customize their experience moving into the next generation. Do you see that's how multiplayer is going? This kind of, letting players tweak their experience to how they want to play it?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, even when we watch gameplay videos now or live streams, people have really evolved their gameplay into having their own sort of technique when they're playing online. So we really wanted to take advantage of that. So with Ghosts, when we were making multiplayer, it was important to us to focus on giving players more control over their destiny online. And that includes the way they look, too. So we have over 20,000 different possible combinations that you can use, customize the way you look, including female soldiers for the first time. But we have a new points-based perk system. In previous Call of Duty games, you were always limited by 3 different categories and choosing which one you liked out of the 3. But now you just spend the points the way you want. So, when the game comes out, if you want all speed perks, you can totally do that and just run around really fast.
Fantastic. Well, Thank you so much for talking to us, Tina. That's fantastic. That is Call of Duty Ghosts, looking amazing. It's coming out on PS4 in the launch window. And if you want to see more videos from Eurogamer, make sure you check out our channel. That is youtube.com/PlayStation Access. And don't forget to subscribe.
I'm going to stand on my tippy toes so I look tall.